I'm Pat Doris. Welcome to The Story. Tonight we're starting off with a story about hair, specifically a product that helps straighten hair. It might create just the right look, but there are also concerns that it may be harmful to the women who use it. And that's our big story tonight. When you hear the word formaldehyde, you likely think about things like medical research or preserving tissue in jars in a lab somewhere. But the compound is used in a lot of things that you might not expect, even cosmetics and hair products. Last year, the FDA proposed banning formaldehyde from being used in hair straightening products because it's a known carcinogen. Now there are several lawsuits across the country related to hair straightening products that cause cancer, including right here in Oregon. KGW digital reporter Sabina Pierre has our story.
Last year, the FDA proposed a ban on formaldehyde, a highly toxic gas found in hair straightening products that is believed to have links to hormonal cancers. In September, the FDA missed its deadline for that ban. This has prompted several lawsuits across the country, including in Oregon.
For many women like Portland hairstylist Ruby Jones, relaxing natural hair has always felt like a rite of passage.
My hair is very coarse, very coily. So my mom started sending me to the beautician early because she could not manage my hair because it was too difficult for her.
It's a similar story for Maria Elm.
I would probably say I started getting my hair relaxed when I was early 20s.
Maria is a long-standing client at the Jayla Rose Hair Salon in Northeast Portland. Non-toxic relaxers are still a big part of her beauty regimen. Ruby shows us how it's done.
So what this first step is, they call it basing the scalp, which is can be a mixture of petroleum jelly, a few more like mineral oils.
Hair relaxers use chemicals to straighten curly, textured hair, making it more manageable. Some of the formulas can include formaldehyde, a hazardous chemical compound when inhaled or when it comes in contact with the skin or eyes. 2 years ago, the National Institutes of Health released a decades-long study correlating the use of relaxers and hormonal cancers. The study's findings were especially concerning for Black women, who are far more likely to use chemical relaxers and other toxic hair treatments. Not long after the study came out, the FDA proposed a ban on formaldehyde in these products. But it has not taken effect despite the FDA calling it a high priority. They are joining thousands of Black women across the country trying to hold manufacturers of chemical hair relaxers accountable through class action lawsuits. That includes an Oregon woman from the small city of Huntington, out in Baker County. Court documents show she used hair relaxers from the late 70s all the way up to 2009, developing uterine cancer in 2003, that she now blames on those products. Many companies that make chemical hair relaxers have responded to the health studies aimed at their products, saying they have no legal or scientific merit.
Women aren't putting themselves at risk for the sake of beauty. There are a number of things that we do to our bodies, but putting formaldehyde in our hair or things that turn into formaldehyde, that's really a challenge.
Oregon State Representative and Congresswoman-elect Janelle Bynum is a longtime champion of women's health, especially in the Black community. Back in 2021, she was the chief sponsor of the Crown Act. The bill prevents public schools and employers from discriminating against cultural hairstyles like braids, twists, and locks. She's just as concerned with the price many Black women are paying for beauty.
It's absolutely imperative that our federal government and our state government protect women's reproductive health. And that is, in essence, what I think that this bill or this call is talking about.
Many people like hairstylist Santaj Mayfield have taken matters into their own hands. She owns All Things Beauty Supply, which stocks natural hair care options.
I think I don't sell relaxers because, for one, I encourage people to go to professionals to get it done if they are going to get it done. I think that it is a personal choice for people, and as long as we're putting the awareness out there that, you know, the risk in getting it.
Despite all that, chemical relaxers remain a beauty staple at many salons, including Jayla Rose. Manager Sherry Jones share how they're trying to improve.
We do have healthier relaxers, real relaxers, I'll say, that are that don't contain the relaxers that are being pushed to be banned, or the ingredients that are pushed to be banned. We don't provide those kind of the dangerous ones, but we still do relaxers.
And for now, that works for longtime client Maria.
Around the world, other countries, including Brazil and Canada, have banned or restricted the use of formaldehyde. And in Nigeria, consumers are warned to avoid the products altogether. The FDA has not given a timeline for when the proposed formaldehyde ban could take effect. Sabina Pierre, KGW News.
Thanks, Sabina. Now on to the town of St. Helens, where residents are still trying to come to grips with the unfolding sex abuse scandal there. 7 people now are under one kind of investigation or another. Much of it's tied to 2 high school teachers, one retired, one active, who are criminally indicted now on sex abuse charges involving female students. 2 others at the high school are also being investigated by the state for sex abuse allegations, although police say those 2 are not under criminal investigation. And the principal and the district superintendent are also under investigation by the state for allegedly not reporting the alleged abuse. And then yesterday, a new development. A middle school teacher there is now being investigated by police for offensive touching, which leads us to echo a parent who asked, what is going on in St. Helens?
I'm appalled. I'm like a lot of us, we're shocked, and it just keeps unfolding, and it's like we're shocked, but we're not. And
Thoughts on the middle school teacher being investigated?
Again, I should be more surprised, and I was a little like, wow, because it does keep unfolding, but also almost expected, because lots of voices are coming to light right now. A lot of people are saying stuff, so not that it's a good situation at the middle school, but I'm glad somebody said something.
Her expressions there say a lot as well. It certainly took long enough for somebody to finally say something. The police chief of St. Helens and the state each confirmed that no mandatory reporters, which, by the way, includes all school district employees, none of them turned in the teachers, even though the students had filed multiple complaints.
Well, they found that much of the information that they got from victims in this case was that the victims had reported some of this information to the school district, and in many cases they found that there were records of that. Multiple, yes.
Mark Collins, a retired math teacher, is now indicted on 3 counts of sex abuse involving 3 female students over a time period that stretches from 2017 to 2023. Eric Stearns, a current choir teacher, is charged with 8 counts of sex abuse involving 6 female students from January 2015 through August of 2020. Both have pled not guilty. As news of this flooded the tiny town of St. Helens, the school board chair resigned. And Trinity Monahan, the vice chair, was left to break this latest bad news to the community in a brief virtual meeting Thursday night.
As the vice chair and member of this community, I'm appalled and deeply saddened by the crisis our school community is experiencing after arrests were made for child sexual abuse at St. Helens High School. Just before opening this session, we learned of an active investigation by St. Helens Police Department of one of our middle school teachers for alleged criminal conduct. That teacher has been placed on administrative leave, and we are cooperating with St. Helens Police Department.
Now, with the latest allegations against the middle school teacher, the police chief says this case is just beginning.
Detectives were alerted yesterday about several middle school students coming forward about what we will call at this point offensive physical contact that they had with a teacher. And so the difference between the case now and the case we spoke about last week is the age of the victims. These are middle school age kids, so the interview process is a lot different for these kids. They need to be given forensic interviews at child abuse assessment centers, which of course need to be scheduled in advance with parents and all of that. So whereas the case last week we had mostly adult victims where the detectives could be a little more aggressive, I guess, in contacting them and getting a statement.
And by the way, that other case against the 2 high school teachers, well, the chief says the publicity now is bringing in lots of new tips. So parents who are shocked at what's come out so far may still have some unpleasant surprises in the future.
Upon sending one out on the high school investigation, that did identify more victims that the detectives are working towards. So yeah, I think it's just as information's out there, and people are having discussions, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Alrighty then, now it's your turn. What are your thoughts on this? Any idea how this could go on for years and not be reported? Anything else you think that we should know or be thinking about when it comes to the St. Helens School District? Any other thoughts? You know the drill. Email us, will you? The address is thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail number. The phone number is 503-226-5090. I look forward to hearing from you. Still ahead, a story you're not going to want to miss. The women fighting a grim diagnosis and the photographer helping bring out the warrior within.
I was given something really difficult, and to be told you are strong, you are whole, you are beautiful, and you're a warrior.
Ah, nice!
That is extremely powerful.
Now that photographer is facing her own battle. We'll have more when the story returns. The American Cancer Society estimates that 311,000 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in America this year. For survivors, especially those still in the battle to beat it, the whole thing can be overwhelming. This next story by Tim Gordon and photojournalist Kurt Austin is about a woman from Hillsboro whose passion for photography has become a way to rise up from that.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna skip. Sorry.
Did you see that?
That was good.
On a beautiful fall day, there is beauty inside this home too.
Yeah. Ooh.
A family playing a card game like they love to do.
Playing Hood Rat and I.
Danielle and Mike and grown daughter Brianna.
So yeah, Brianna, she's my little mini-me.
Who comes to visit.
Yeah.
More often these days.
All right, we want to do something for the holiday that's a tradition, so we started this, and and it's quite the battle.
The beauty at this table is about love and support. Facing life
That was
and death.
That was bad.
You're like, oh my gosh, like, this is real.
I am doing okay. They found the tumor.
Danielle's journey with breast cancer began in 2022.
It was triple negative, which means they don't know what feeds it.
She aggressively took on the tumor. A double mastectomy, no reconstructive surgery, but many difficult treatments.
Nice.
It beat back the cancer
Yeah.
and gave Danielle
Sorry, pumpkin.
a new lease on life.
Thanks. We've been relying on each other for so long, for so many years, so many decades. It's like we do everything together, and there's no way I would not be here for her.
Danielle just ended her work as an accountant, but she continues her other work in photography. It used to be pets and families.
Nice. It's a whole nother avenue, right?
But with Danielle's cancer diagnosis came inspiration.
This boosts you right up there.
Yeah.
Her studio now filled with costumes and props and lots of makeup.
Let's go green. That's my color.
Oh, there you go.
That's Ainsley.
A place of transformation
I know two of these women.
for breast cancer survivors
It's inspirational, you know?
into warrior women.
It's what we got to do. It's what we're here for now.
I think it's really important to share everybody's story.
The results are stunning.
I don't create the strength, I don't create the beauty, I showcase it. So it's already there.
I've known Danielle for a couple years now. I mean, our diagnosis was a month apart.
Yeah.
Wendy Murray and Carrie Vandenberg
Oh, I like it.
It heals the soul.
have been to the studio before,
Yeah.
and they're back for more.
Nobody knows going into this what you're getting into.
You good? Yeah. Love it.
Oh, look at your little bling blings. Super cute.
There's one pose I want to do for you.
For Wendy, a double mastectomy and no reconstruction. She's proud of her flat chest.
This is exactly what you usually do, right? Look fabulous. Right there? Got it. Perfect.
And she's grateful to a dear friend.
There you go. You look super, darling.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a whole new deal right now. Danielle and I both met really early on in our diagnoses, and I feel good to be around Danielle every time I'm around Danielle. And that she offers this experience for women.
Yeah. Love it. I mean, look at that.
I love you.
I love you too.
It is as much about the process as the images that come from it.
And tears happen in the studio too.
Danielle Rogers has captured the warrior in hundreds of women, each one unique and inspirational.
As soon as I created this project, I knew I had something here. Let's see if I can. The more I got into it, the more passionate I got about it, the more I knew it was going to work. There you go. The more that I knew this was going to benefit the community.
That's my mom.
That community includes Danielle and her family.
All these photos here are of my lovely wife, Danielle.
Yeah.
So she turned the camera on herself,
I just had to press the button.
and Mike helped her see her warrior within.
I love them. You know, you look at these pictures and you're like, it's not mom, it's not a friend, it's not a wife. You know, it's a warrior that is actually inside me. So
After a clean bill of health early this year, Danielle's cancer came back.
It's definitely been a roller coaster.
I was really struggling living and preparing for dying. It's hard to find hope, but I'm here, so.
It spread quickly.
I don't know how much time I've got.
Back in the studio,
Thank you. Change the light for you.
the reality through the filters it affects.
I'm not the exception. We're all going to die. But some of us are going to die sooner. And we don't have control over that. So when I get to come out here with Danielle, who, just keeping it real, is going to die sooner.
Including for those still in the midst of their fight.
Carrie does amazing.
She sat me and my husband down and said, we can give you a few good years. And going from healthy to you're dying. it was really scary. And having a little kid, like, is he gonna remember who I am?
Carrie is a 37-year-old nurse, a wife, and a mother of two.
Yeah. I don't think it fits.
Her prognosis
Nice.
is potentially better
Yeah.
than it was to start.
Yes.
But she faces many unknowns.
Give me mouth pain.
Mouth pain? I was given something really difficult, and to be told you are strong, you are whole, you are beautiful, and you're a warrior.
Wow, nice.
That is extremely powerful.
The power of this will go on as long as Danielle does.
Something about these warrior sessions is it's my legacy.
Every person that goes through this, no matter what the outcome is, they are truly a warrior.
You're amazing. Much appreciate you. Good to see you. The more I can do, the more legacy I leave behind.
We're not gonna die today. None of us.
They're warriors. That's what you have to be to get through this.
Wow, love it. Coming up, Portland's incoming mayor Keith Wilson won the race by promising to end unsheltered homelessness. Why he says it's a personal crusade for him, and what he plans to do about the city's camping ban and the threat of jail time when the story returns. This weekend on Straight Talk with Laurel Porter, we're getting to know Portland's new mayor-elect better, Keith Wilson. He's the first person without political experience to be elected mayor since Bud Clark, and that was back in the 80s. Wilson's big platform aligned with what most people in Portland say is the city's biggest problem, with people living on the streets. He promised to end unsheltered homelessness in just 1 year. The reason he's so concerned about it, he told our Laurel Porter, it's personal for him.
My brother, about 20 years ago, was homeless, addicted, suffered from mental illness. My parents and I had the wherewithal to care for him, so I'm his trustee today. My sister also suffered from addiction. She passed away, but I was able to help care for her as well. And not a lot of families have that means that I did, or the time. So imagine those souls that we see on the street suffering. So I think, yes, it's personal. I know it's a lot of families that suffer. I have the ability to do something about it, and I started doing something about it.
Wilson says he plans to increase the number of overnight emergency shelter beds by teaming up with Multnomah County, and that once there are enough beds, he says he does intend to enforce the city's camping ban.
But what about people who do refuse shelter? Do you support jail instead?
Well, you have to have the threat and you have to have actual arrest. But if you're able to go up to that person and say that tent is no longer allowed by law, and you give them that threat, most people will move on or move into that shelter. Some people are going to be left on the street without that tent, but they won't be left without care. They'll always have that bed available when they're ready.
He says he plans to work with the 12 new city councilors, many of whom said they don't support the city's camping ban, and what he thinks of the city-county partnership to fund the Office of Homeless Services. You can watch the entire thing, Straight Talk, this Sunday at 9 p.m. or Monday at 7 or anytime on our KGW YouTube channel or the KGW Plus app. The Great Toy Drive is going on right now. The effort would not be possible without volunteers like Gresham Dental Group. This is their second year as a drop-off site in the KGW Great Toy Drive, so a great big thank you to them. We appreciate what you're doing to help us out. One option, you could let us do the shopping for you. You could head to kgw.com/toy and click Donate Cash. Or if you'd like to drop off and say hello, just come on down and see us this Saturday at the Hollywood Fred Meyer Collection event. We'll be there from 10 till 2. Help us bring a little joy to local kids and teens this holiday season. Hey, that's the end of our show. Thanks so much for watching. But remember, the story, our collective story, that never ends. Thanks for joining us live or later on streaming. Either way, we love having you here. If you don't know, by the way, you can stream the story on your own schedule. Download the free KGW Plus app, available now on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. That's it for us. Have a great weekend. I'll see you right back here Monday night at 6:30.